Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the FPL Duo. So I just want to apologize if there's any my Wi-Fi is bad because I'm using the phone. I'm using my hotspot basically to stream. So I don't know if my connection might be bad. So apologies if you can't hear me. But I can't believe what I just witnessed. It's a game. We're probably going to discuss it a lot. I know it's an FPL stream, but what a game! What we just witnessed, 7-0. I'm a bit speechless right now. So if I can't stream properly, my words might not come out. But yeah, I mean, I don't want to say, Jordan. I mean, I'm assuming you watched it as well. We'll get into all of that, but yeah, how you doing? Obviously, game week 26, isn't it? I forgot what game week it is.
Yeah.
And game week to chat about game week 27 as well, of course. Yeah, if you guys are joining in the chat, make sure you drop a like for us going live straight after that game. I was there. It was crazy. So yeah. Yeah, I don't want to say, Jordan. Let's bring it up. Let's not waste too much time. We'll get your thoughts on it as well. We'll mainly bring up our teams and then discuss how we did this week. Because the wild card, a lot of us wild carded. Tricky Trees didn't wild card. 72 all out with Salah doing the business. Obviously, I had Salah in my team, and we sold him because we thought Man United was going to be a tough fixture. And then he went and scored, 2 goals? Yeah, wildcard hasn't really paid off, but in one sense, Salah's not that highly owned, I don't think. I'm going to have to check my rank. I don't know, actually, because we didn't update it. I don't know if I sent you my rank. Am I on a red or not? But yeah, let's
small green.
All right, let's bring up our teams, because I actually don't exactly know what my ranks were. So I'll bring it up. There you go, guys, on the screen. Hopefully you guys can see that properly. I'm just going to bring up Kepa. First, let's discuss. Let's get that out of the way. Kepa, obviously, we know I bought him in. I am on a wild card, guys, for those that missed it. I did press the wild card button. So, yeah, this is what I went with. The team, Kepa in goal, 6-pointer. I was confident, quietly confident that Kepa would keep a clean sheet against Leeds. So that paid off, bringing Kepa in. Nice clean sheet with a 1-0 win for Chelsea, Fofana scoring. Back 3, Zinchenko, who I bought in, did concede. Now, Arsenal surprisingly went 1-0 down after 8 seconds or 7 seconds or whatever it was, which was a shock. And what a comeback from Arsenal to end up winning that game. To win that game 3-2 was crazy for them, I guess, especially in the title running. So, yeah, but obviously 2 goals conceded to Bournemouth, not great. Henry has to play tomorrow night, so we'll have to see what he does against Fulham. Estupinian did get a clean sheet, 6-pointer, very lovely. I was excited to bring him into my team. He played 75 minutes, and clean sheet, can't complain. That was locked. Let's move into the midfield 4. Odegaard blank. I was surprised he blanked because Arsenal did score 3 goals. So we'll come on to Saka as well. So Arsenal scored 3 goals, but Odegaard and Saka aren't involved in any of them. And that was a bit of a shock. So, yeah, it's a bit disappointing, but I'm still happy to own Saka and Odegaard, of course, because they've been good this season. But yeah, blank from Odegaard, blank from Saka. Obviously, I went Saka captain. I did say, guys, a lot. Saka and Haaland was close. It's not as... I didn't think it was as... people said, Saka's the way better captain. I didn't think that was the case. I thought it was quite even though Haaland had Newcastle. But as I said, Newcastle have won 2 in 9 games. So I think we're underestimating Man City a little bit. And obviously Man City did win quite comfortably. I thought Newcastle were poor. We'll come on to that. But Saka blanks, which was unfortunate because I did go Saka captain. The reasoning why I sided with Saka in the end was because Bournemouth did concede 4 the week before. So I thought they just conceded 4, so I should back Arsenal. That's why I went Saka in the end. But the Haaland Saka, if you went Haaland, I think it was a tight one. I don't think it was a bad. Obviously, Haaland did outscore him in the end. Rashford 2 points. Obviously, we know Rashford what form he's in this season so far. but that is Rashford's first blank since game week 20, I believe. And I thought Liverpool handled Rashford brilliantly in that game. I think Rashford didn't really have a sniff. We'll come on to the game maybe later. But yeah, Rashford didn't score today. Obviously, I don't think anyone saw that 7-0 coming, even the most confident of Liverpool fans. It was just crazy. So yeah, Rashford does blank, but obviously we know how good he's been. But yeah, Mitoma though, on the other hand, a brilliant 13-pointer from him. Yeah, well, where do I start? I bought Mitoma in on the wild card. As you know, I wanted Mitoma. One of the reasons I wild carded was because I wanted Brighton assets. They would go in 4-0. And Mitoma paid off again. Goal, assist, 2 bonus points, clean sheet point as well. 13-pointer, I can't complain. I never considered captaining Mitoma, but I'm very happy with the 13-pointer. I wish I had McAllister as well, because I was going to bring McAllister in, but I went Solly March instead. But I don't regret it in the end anyway, because McAllister would have been on the bench if I brought him in. As you see, March is on the bench instead. So at least I have less points on the bench. But yeah, Mitoma's been a good, definitely a positive about my wild card, 100%. Up top, Haaland. Now, everyone knows how close I was to going Haaland, but he didn't score. He should have scored, I think. In that, I think 25th, 26th minute, Haaland missed a proper big chance. I was nervous watching that game when I saw that chance, because Haaland usually buries them. But he did get 1 assist, so it wasn't that bad. But yeah, 4 points. If you went captain, you would have done 8. So it's not too big of a loss. Obviously, Haaland could have punished us more, so it wasn't that bad in the end. Tony, who's yet to play Monday, Fulham at home. I think Tony is a good fixture for him. Hopefully, he does play in that one. We'll have to see whether he can score if he's going to play. Obviously, there's potentially doubts surrounding him if he does play. I think he had a child. I don't know how true that is. But we'll see if he starts. Harry Kane, on the other hand, a bit disappointing from Spurs. Spurs lost 1-0 to Wolves, which was a bit of a shock. Harry Kane did blank. I was quite excited to own Harry Kane, because every time I've not owned him, he always scores. But I'm not too worried Harry Kane blanking. It's the first time I bought him in. I'm going to give him the next few game weeks. Let's see how he does. But yeah, Spurs losing. Now that makes me think Liverpool potentially can claw back. I think we're now 3 points behind top 4 with a game in hand as well. So if we win that game in hand, we do go 4th, which is madness when you think about where we were like a couple of weeks ago. But yeah, that is the team, guys. I'm on a wild card. I can't really complain, because I wish I kept Salah. And obviously I had Darwin as well. I had Darwin and Salah in my team, and they go and score 2 goals each. So obviously the wild card technically hasn't paid off in that sense, because I would have been better off keeping those. But longer term, I still believe this wild card could pay off. Next week, I've got the Brighton triple up, I've got the Brentford triple up as well. So I'm not too worried. But yeah, it's a shame. Obviously, Liverpool ruining FPL in a sense for me, because I could have got more points. But look, as a Liverpool fan, I can't complain about that result. Salah could have scored 5, and I would have not cared the way it went. But yeah, bench Raya, Fulham at home tomorrow. Obviously, he's not going to play. I've got March, who got 3 points for the clean sheet point, I think. Trippier and Botman were benched because they played Man City. I did think that they would concede in that one, and they did. But all in all, I am on 40 points, I believe. I still have 2 players to play, the Brentford guys, Henry and Tony. So it's not completely finished. Rank is up to 771k. I was around 680k, I think, before the Liverpool game. So I think I got 100k down in terms of rank. I'm assuming that's because of Salah and Nunes scoring. But, regardless, I'm happy that I still got a green in the end. 1,572 total points. But yeah, that's it, guys. 40 points. So it's a weird week. Obviously, Liverpool, no one expected them to score that many goals, and that kind of made me get a small green instead of a bigger green that I should probably while I was on. We will get into your team now, Jordan. I actually don't know how you've done as well. So get some comments in, and then we'll discuss your game at 26. And we'll quickly look ahead to 27 as well. Tricky Trees didn't wildcard. I think I read this one, 72 all out. Fair play for keeping Salah. Let me know if you did captain him. Ali Mac, Jordan, you went for a 4-3 United win. Got the amount of goals right. Oh yeah, we can talk about that game.
I guess so.
42 points with 3 Brentford still to play, says Ali as well. Not bad. Well, kind of similar to me, but you've got 3 players left. And yeah, just more comments about that result today, which I'm sure we will have to chat about in a bit more. But obviously, we'll get onto your team, Jordan. Let's bring it up. Talk us through how you did, how your week's gone. Just your FPL team.
Well, it's been a terrible week in terms of returns. Only 2 players in my team have actually returned. So I'll start off with Edison, who did keep a clean sheet against Newcastle. I was actually surprised they actually did. So it was nice to have a clean sheet finally from Edison after bringing him in from game weeks onwards and not re-keeping clean sheets. But yeah, nice clean sheet for Edison. I think he got a bonus 1 as well. Moving on to the defence, no defender return. Trippier obviously lost 2-0 to Man City. So at least I get a clean sheet for one or the other in terms of Edison and Trippier. So I'm happy it went to Edison, as it wouldn't really matter much if it did go to Trippier, as he's highly owned anyway. Luke Shaw gets -1 for obviously the defeat against Liverpool. So yeah, it all went downhill for them. Ben Mee, he's got Fulham at home tomorrow, so we'll have to find out the result for that. Moving on to the midfield, got Arsenal midfielders, Odegaard, Saka. All midfielders, Odegaard, Saka, Martinelli, ball blanked. It was low-owned players really for Arsenal that really scored in that game. Impressive comeback for Arsenal, especially going 2-0 down against Bournemouth. It looked like they were going to lose that game, but did claw their way back near the end, especially with Reece Nelson's late stunner, who did get him the win. Obviously, Saka was the captain, so he only gets the 4 points. Moving on to Fernandes and Rashford, 2 more blanks there. Obviously, the Man United didn't score against Liverpool, as it was a massive, heavy defeat. So, not really much to talk about there. I mean, yeah. Moving on to Matoma, you get a 13-pointer for his goal and assist. So it was nice for him to return after his back-to-back blanks. So yeah, Matoma has paid off for bringing him in a few game weeks onwards. So yeah, it was a nice double haul for him with a double coming up. Moving on to the front 2, Haaland, I think did get an assist in that game in Newcastle. So he gets the 4 points, which if he did captain Haaland, it might have been much better than captain Saka, as Haaland did get a return. And finally, we've got Tony, who plays tomorrow against Fulham at home. So hopefully he can get more points for my team, because there really isn't any at all. It is a red arrow, a staggering red arrow. The Liverpool assets really killed the rank. They dropped it down to almost 150k red arrow. So I'm down to 458k now. So a bit more clawing to do to get back up to where I was. I have 34 game week points so far, so it's not really that high this week, and a total of 1,598. So yeah, getting there. On the bench, Wise Mezia, and he gets 2 points for Leeds conceding. Nketiah didn't play for Arsenal, so he got 0. Surprisingly, Dunk got 6 points for the Brighton clean sheet, and this is probably a shock, but Kilman got 7 points, which includes a bonus 1 for the win against Tottenham, which never saw that coming at all. And yeah, that's how my game week 26 has done this week.
Okay, nice. What was your rank before the Liverpool game? Like 300
something.
Sorry?
It was 300 and something. I can't remember the exact rank. But it was in the 300.
I think my one was 667 or 668 as well. So I did damage it a bit. I think that highly owned. I didn't think like people like Nunes is still highly owned. I guess the guys that wildcarded the guys that didn't wildcard had to keep them. So they probably just went with it. And I'm just reading some of these comments. Would you agree with Haaland and Tark to Tony and Henry for free? Would get Haaland back in for a few weeks. Haaland for Tony. I like Watkins as well. I mean, look, Haaland. We'll get onto this actually when we come to game week 27. Should you be taking out Haaland potentially? I think it could be a slight decision we have to make on that, possibly. We'll discuss this in the second part of the video. I had Salah, Gakpo, and Nunes for game week 25, then wildcarded all of them out. Yeah, that would be frustrating. I mean, I had Salah and Nunes, and that would have gave me a big green part. Yeah, obviously I know I wildcarded them out as well. Bit gutting. I wildcarded Salah and Nunes, but I think a lot of people have, didn't they? I don't think anyone with a wildcard had any Liverpool assets. I'm pretty certain. People that wildcarded in 26, no one had. I mean, everyone has obviously triple Brentford, triple Brighton, maybe double Man United, couple Newcastle. Maybe we also speak about Liverpool. Do they become decent options again going forward? I'll have to take a look at their fixtures. I have Kane and Haaland. Who should I be looking at if I transfer Haaland out? We're going to discuss this. You could be looking to bring in someone like, as I said, Tony Watkins, who has a double. So not double. He plays in the blank when Haaland doesn't. I think he had the double as well in that game week. So, yeah, we're gonna discuss all of that regards to who to bring out basically. So I think that's pretty much our game week 26 stuff out the way. Unless there's anything else you want to add, Jordan. It's not been the greatest game week in terms of FPL because a lot of the players that we own, like Arsenal, all the popular players blanked. Brighton paid off for me, Matoma, Estupiñán, and even Kepa. Man United, Rashford, blank. Kane, another big player, blanked. Haaland, only the assist. Captaincy didn't go my way as well, so wasn't the best week. But yeah, I think hopefully game week 27 is a bit better. I'm going to bring up both our teams for game week 27, and we'll just see how we look lining up. Talk about our early transfer plans, and yeah, I'll bring my team up first. I think I actually like my team for 27, but I'll show you guys. I think it could be a decent week, but never know with the way this game week's gone. So I have a benching headache, as you guys can see. I think all wildcarders do in 26. So in goal, I've got Raya, who's got Everton and Southampton. 2 decent fixtures. I've got a back 3 of Estupiñán, Henry, and Zinchenko. Obviously, Estupiñán has Leeds and Crystal Palace. Henry has Everton and Southampton. And Zinchenko has Fulham away. Midfield 4, I do have the double up Brighton midfield with March and Mitoma, with 2 good fixtures for them. I've got Saka, who's got Fulham. I've got Rashford, who's got Southampton. Up top, front 3, I've got Tony, who's got a double game week. Haaland has Palace away. And I have Kane, who has Nottingham Forest at home. So on paper, the team looks pretty good. Good, in terms of like setup, it looks nice. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 doublers as well. So I think that's a good amount to have. Benching headache, as you guys can see. Do I play Trippier? Do I play Zinchenko? Do I play Odegaard for Saka? Probably not. So yeah, a bit of a benching headache, but I'm not too fussed about that. But yeah, I think the team looks good. Personally, my team looks quite strong for 27. But we'll see if that equates to points. Just very quickly, transfer-wise, I'm probably going to roll at this moment in time. I don't think I need to make a big move. I feel like I can just save it. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Just early thoughts. I may roll and just be boring. I think I want to save my transfers for maybe game week 28. Blanks are coming up, so I want to navigate that, and I'm going to need transfers, etc. So I want to save it. I think if I can. Let's bring up your team, Jordan, and bring up your team, and then we will see how it's going. I'm just going to quickly grab my charger. So bear with me for a sec. Yeah, go ahead.
Right, okay, guys. This is my team at Cycling. game week 27. So we've got Edison, who's got Crystal Palace away. In the defence, we've got Trippier, who's got Wolves home. Dunk with the double, Leeds away and Crystal Palace home. And also with the double, Ben Mee, who's got Everton away and Southampton away. And in the midfield, we've got Rashford and Fernandes, who both have Southampton at home. And Mitoma, the doubler, Leeds away, Crystal Palace at home. Saka and Odegaard with Fulham both away. And Tony with the double with Everton and Southampton away. And Haaland with the single fixture with Crystal Palace away. And on the bench, just Meslio, who's got Brighton at home. Shaw, who's got Southampton at home. Ketio's got Fulham away. And Kilman, who's got Newcastle away. And currently, the captaincy is over Mitoma. I'm going to wait and see what Tony does tomorrow, because that might change depending on how Tony plays. If he plays tomorrow, we'll have to wait and see. But my transfer plans wise, I'm also rolling, because as you may notice, there's a lot of players that do blank after game week 27. So I'll definitely need 2 transfers to navigate around that, as I do have, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 6 players that are going to blank in 27. So I'll definitely need 2 transfers to obviously avert around that. But yeah, that is my transfer plans going forward into 27. I am going to roll.
Okay, I think both of us looks like we're going to roll. You've got a few doublers in there as well, and you've got 2, 3. There's 3 doublers.
4.
Yeah, sorry, 4. Tony as well. Yeah, 4 doublers. Have you got any early shouts for captaincy for game week 27? Because are you going to go with a doubler?
I think Matoma's a good captaincy option. Obviously, he got the 13 points in this single fixture, but I think he can do well against Leeds, because they have struggled to actually keep clean sheets. And Crystal Palace, even though they managed to, do, I'll say, a bit better than before, but they are struggling too. Even with Zaha coming back into the team, they look like they're sort of on a downward spiral. So Mitoma could take advantage of both those fixtures, I think, for game week 26. So I think he's a good doubler to have as a captain.
Yeah, of course, I've got Mitoma now as well, so he could be a good shout with a double. I probably will captain a doubler. Tony could be a decent shout. You know, we know he's a good option, but we'll have to see how he does tomorrow. And if he plays well and he scores, maybe then if he scores 2 goals tomorrow, then we'll probably have a different view on it. So yeah, Tony, Mitoma, McAllister, who did score again. I think he got a 14-point as well. Could be a shout if you own him. March as well, maybe not captain, but I think he's a good pick to have. I'm quite happy that I've got double Brighton midfield in that double. So yeah, not much to really discuss in terms of captaincy, I don't think. But regards to game week 27, it looks like it could be a week where a lot of managers just decide to roll, because we're going to need to use transfers when the blanks hit. And if you use it up, if you use your transfer this week, you won't have flexibility maybe going forward. So if you can, I think maybe rolling is the move that most people should be making. But if you need, if you don't have any Brighton assets, then maybe you want to bring in a Brighton player, I think, for sure. If you don't have Brentford, like Tony looks good. If he scores tomorrow or plays well tomorrow, then you probably want him for that double. Like McAllister, if you've not got him, looks good, like a good shout now. Played well again. Yeah, but Brighton have just won 4-0 as well. So against Leeds and Palace in a double, who knows what they can do? So I'm quite confident quietly about Brighton. So you definitely want to have some of their assets. Brentford, I want to see how they do, as I said. Arsenal got Fulham away as a good fixture for them still, you'd say. I think Haaland at Palace is still a good single game week for him. He can score. Man United, I think, have a good fixture. Obviously, they have to bounce back now after that loss. They've got Southampton at home, which I do think is a good fixture for them to bounce back in. Southampton haven't been great, and Man United usually have won games at home. So, yeah, I think it could be another good. I think game 27 is probably going to be a high-scoring week, personally. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes. Other than that, if you guys got any questions, drop them in. I've got Kwanda. Good evening, lads. I still have my wild card, and I think it's best I wild card since I have James and Ketia Mahrez. I only have me from double 27. Yeah, it looks like you could potentially look to wild card if you don't have any Brighton or Brentford, and you've got players like Nketiah, who looks like he's a doubt. Is he injured, or even if he is fit, he probably won't start. You've got Mahrez, who we know the issues with him. James is always a worry as well. So yeah, you could be in that position. Some more comments coming in regards to the game. What are your thoughts on Felix in for Haaland? Hold that thought about Haaland. We're gonna discuss Haaland. I think Johnny says unbelievable happened. Captain Salah. Wow, I think you might be the only one on our stream that's Captain Salah. Fair play. You know what I did. I mean, that must have given you a massive green arrow if you went Salah captain. So yeah, fair play there, Johnny, keeping the faith in Salah. Yeah, let's talk about Haaland out, because I think that's been a bit of a topic. I did discuss Haaland out potentially in the deadline stream. The reasoning behind that is because you look at Haaland again, you keep him for Palace potentially, and then you could look to move him out in game week 28 when he's got a blank. 29, he has Liverpool at home. So I don't know what people's thoughts are on Liverpool in general. Maybe people will change their mind after today. Maybe they think Liverpool are good again or whatnot, a good asset again. But I had this before the Liverpool game, before today with the 7-0. I think Haaland at Liverpool could be a game I look to take him out for and just take that risk in the hope that he gets only a goal or something like that and not get a massive haul. So he got blank and then Liverpool. And I think I can potentially navigate out Haaland and then bring him back in for that game against Southampton in game week 30. Is it risky? Of course, Haaland could score against Liverpool. He can get a double-digit haul against Liverpool. Even though Liverpool, people might think you're going to get knee-jerkers now that see Liverpool, they're going to bring them in. Or people saying, oh, you know what, we could take Haaland out, Liverpool look good again. So, but I had this pre-planned already before the game. I did say to Jordan, I think maybe I am looking to take Haaland out before. And then, I've been big on Haaland this season. But it's just because obviously that one game, essentially it's one game in two, when Watkins has 3 games in 2. So yeah, Haaland 28 blank, Liverpool in 29 versus, I'll just bring it up here, Watkins, who does he have in 28? So in 28, he has Bournemouth, which is better than Haaland having no fixture. And in 29, when Haaland has Liverpool, he's got Chelsea and Leicester. So it's 3 fixtures for Watkins v 1 of Haaland. So I can see why people would want to go there. You get a lot more fixtures, and Watkins has been playing a bit better recently. He didn't score yesterday, did blank, but I still think he's a good pick potentially going forward, especially for that West Ham Bournemouth game in a double. Probably want to own him. So the only worry with that is you're going to make sure, guys, if you do take Haaland out, you have a route to get him back in. If you don't, then it could be a worry because we know his price, and you probably want Haaland against Southampton. That's the only worry. Jordan, have you thought about taking Haaland out potentially when he blanks and then he has a single when other players have doubles except for 29?
I don't think I'm in a position to need to take Haaland out for the blank, but if I necessarily need to, then yeah, I'll probably take him out for the blank, but bring him back in for the potential Liverpool game, because I don't think I would want to go without Haaland when he is playing a fixture, despite it being Liverpool.
You change your tune, man.
Yeah.
You change your tune. Regards Haaland.
I think it's still necessary to have Haaland because of he's still highly owned by many FPL managers. I mean, I wouldn't say he's a captain pick when he has Liverpool, but I think it's still important to have in your team when he does have Liverpool, because he can return anything from just 1 assist, as he did against Newcastle, and we did go against Haaland, so he does have those moments where he could get something from a tough fixture like Liverpool.
I mean, Haaland is usually good at home, so it's Liverpool at home at Man City, so you'd expect him to play be much stronger. If it was away, I think it'd be maybe more easier if it was like Anfield. because it's at home, there is risk obviously taking Haaland out. You could, like I said, you could score against Liverpool. There's going to be people captaining Haaland, even if it is Liverpool, regardless. But I think I could be in that position to take that risk to remove him. And you know, people know how big I've been on Haaland and how much I've sang his praises and how good he is, and he can punish any team. But I probably want him back straight after, so I've got to make sure I have the money to bring him in. So yeah, I could be looking at Haaland out in 28. We'll see whether I do it. If something crops up, let's say, I don't know, I've got injury to Rashford or Saka or Odegaard and I need to make other moves elsewhere, then obviously I'll have to put that on the back burner. But I don't think Haaland out is the worst idea because he doesn't have a game. But you know, you may not be. Some people may not be in that position where they've got enough transfers or to do a luxury move like that, move Haaland out only to bring him back in. Some people may see it as a bit of a waste of transfer, etc. I think it could be worth it. But Felix in, I'm not sure. I would be going Felix. If I were taking Haaland out, it'd be someone like Watkins who has that double. Looking at Felix, Chelsea, I mean, they did win. And I've said all along with Chelsea in the deadline stream as well, I don't rate Chelsea's attack as highly. Like, they do struggle to score goals. They may win 1-0 or like they did, or I said 2-1 or by the odd goal, but they do seem to keep a few clean sheets. And that's why I wasn't against bringing Kepa in. So you look at Felix, he did score against West Ham. So, you know, apart from that, he's not scored in the last 3. I don't know if we should take much from that. His fixtures do look decent. He has Leicester in 27. He has Everton in 28. He has Villa and Liverpool in a double in 29. So fixtures are pretty good for João Felix. And if you are feeling like taking a differential punt, his ownership is 3.6%, so very low ownership. I don't think it's the worst idea in the world, but I wouldn't go there personally. But if you want to go to Felix, you know, there is reasoning in terms of fixtures, because I do believe fixtures give players form. So yeah, I see it why, but I think I still prefer Watkins. What do you reckon, Jordan? Watkins, Felix. If you were bringing, you look at that double, Villa and Liverpool for Chelsea, and who was it for Watkins? It was Chelsea and Leicester for Watkins.
I'll bring in Watkins. I mentioned this many times. I don't like any Chelsea players, apart from Kepa. The Chelsea attack is very inexperienced, especially with Kai Havertz missing. I think there was 2 big chances for Chelsea, and they were both missed. And João Felix is one of those players that it needs time to, I'll say, get used to playing football with Chelsea, because at the moment it's not quite there for Chelsea attack. And I think it'd be a waste to bring in the Chelsea asset, if I'm honest. I think it's more worth going for a more experienced player who's underneath a new manager as well, who's doing well, and that's Watkins. He's shown it in the last few game weeks, where before he's blank, he did get 5 returns in his previous game week. So I think that's a no-brainer.
Yeah, with Chelsea, they don't score many goals, do they? Like, if they do score, it's only like the odd goal. Like, you take a look at their game. They won yesterday, of course. It was a 1-0 win. They lost 2-0 to Spurs. They lost 1-0 to Southampton. They drew 1 to West Ham. They drew 0-0 to Fulham. They drew 0-0 to Liverpool. They won 1-0. When was the last time Chelsea scored 2 goals in a game? I believe you'll have to go back, way back. I'm just checking when Chelsea last scored 2 in a game. I don't know when they last scored. If anyone knows when Chelsea last scored 2 in a game, let us know. Because from what I see, I'm not fond of Felix, I'll be honest. I know people may disagree. I just don't see them scoring enough goals in their team. And that's my worry with Chelsea. If you want to get a defensive player, like a Kepa, I don't hate it, because I own Kepa. But going forward, I'm not sure, Ali. But you look, he says he's got 3 home games in 28 and 29, which, understandable. You know, fixtures, as I said, looks good. Liverpool at home, Aston Villa at home, Everton at home. But yeah, I think I'm staying away from Chelsea attack. I feel like they just struggle for goals, and that's my thoughts on it, really. Sanchez dropped was a shock. Yeah, I think Jordan messaged me saying Sanchez was dropped. I didn't realize he was dropped. I was gonna actually think about bringing him in on a wild card. Lucky I didn't. But yeah, that was surprising.
Yeah, I think Dr. Serby said that Sanchez wasn't playing as well as as the goalkeeper that was starting in that Brighton game. So he has the manager does have doubts over Sanchez's performances. So yeah, that was a surprise, but interesting to see.
Yeah,
that comment from him.
Yeah, we don't know what that means. Does that mean Steele is now first choice? Could be. So if for those that have got Sanchez in, maybe that's a slight worry. Other than that, I'm looking forward to Brentford tomorrow. Hopefully Tony can get a goal. Game week 27 is not, for me, wasn't the worst thing in the world because I still got a little green arrow regardless. And Liverpool destroying my rank, I don't mind it. It's a 1 week. But other than that, yeah, I'm fairly happy with the game week so far. Could have been better. Looking forward to game week 27, definitely. I think it could be a high scoring week. I don't normally say that as well. I just feel like it could be due to Brighton, the way they're playing. But yeah, anything else you want to discuss, Jordan, in regards to maybe game week 27, planning? We're going to do more videos in regards to transfers on Tuesday.
I think that's pretty much it. I mean, we know Brighton and Brentford will double in 27, so yeah, there's a few blanks coming up for them, but obviously Man United have a blank too, as well as Man City. But yeah, there's going to be a few navigations, probably some hits being taken for going forward again. But yeah, we have to wait and see. There is a few flags as well from Luke Shaw and Nketiah, so we always have to watch out for those who get injured as well in the other competitions. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yep. But yeah, regardless, Man United and Liverpool both blank, don't they, in 28? I believe, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's navigation that will need to be solved. But all in all, that's it pretty much. I thought we'll keep it brief, obviously. I don't want to go on for too long. It's been a knee-jerk stream. Thank you guys for all joining. If you haven't, guys, make sure you do drop a like for our efforts. If you have appreciated the content, if you've enjoyed it, if you've been with us, make sure you do drop a like. Helps us out massively. Subscribe to the channel. Get us to 800 subscribers, please. It means a lot. Yeah, and I'm buzzing. Obviously, Liverpool winning 7-0. Never thought I'd see that in my life. It was just a crazy game. So yeah, I'm probably gonna just go watch the highlights again, couple times, and yeah, just enjoy it really. But other than that, yeah, guys, thank you all for joining. It's been a mad day, football wise. Yeah, thanks Ali Mac. Thanks for joining. Yeah, we'll probably wrap it up here, Jordan. Anything else? Unless you want to say anything else.
Just thanks for watching and take care. See you guys soon.
Yeah, guys, we will be back again on Tuesday, transfer tips. Make sure you are joining us for the players that you should be looking to bring in for Game Week 27. We'll be back again Thursday, team selection, and then again, deadline stream as always on a weekend. So yeah, thank you guys for being with us, watching the stream. And yeah, have a good rest of your week, obviously next week, and we will see you shortly. Thank you guys, and peace out.